All right, I'm gonna test the sound on this. Hopefully it sounds good. I hope so. Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl Gwladys. Welcome back. It has been a little minute since I've come on here just to have a little chit chat with y'all. I've been thinking about it for a while, especially since I took like another long hiatus from long form YouTube content. And I thought to myself, like, let me just update my people on what's been going on, because no matter how long I stay away from long form, YouTube is still my baby. It's still my favorite. And if anyone in the online space is gonna know what's happening with me, it's gonna be y'all. Thanks for sticking with me. I did drop a video the other day, long form video sharing like 5 holiday wigs that I think everyone must have, so make sure you check that out. I also still post on YouTube Shorts damn near daily, so you can always catch me there as well. But y'all know long form is different. Like, this is where we really connect, so I wanted to come back on here. My goal is to get back to posting weekly videos by the start of 2026, so I'm easing into that, you know, in November. So yeah, y'all, we'll see how things go. And even though I'll be sharing a lot about me in this video, please feel free to like let me know how things are going with y'all in the comments. You know I love to talk to y'all in the comments, so please update me on how things have been with you. So let me start with the first thing. Unfortunately, my father passed away, and this happened a few weeks ago. It was not really expected. I mean, he's older and he has been really sick before, but I don't know, I just didn't expect anything to happen now. Just to give you a little background, I didn't necessarily grow up with my father. He always lived abroad, whether it was in France or in Guadeloupe, which is a French island in the Caribbean. My mom and dad actually met in France, and they had me in France, in Paris. So yes, my parents speak French. I speak French as well conversationally. Je parle français, mais je ne parle pas couramment. So I speak French. I know enough to like get by, but I'm not like fluent. But surprisingly, this might be the first time I'm even talking about it on this channel, for real. But yeah, I grew up with my parents speaking French. There are a lot of circumstances surrounding the end of their marriage, and he always lived abroad, so he would send things. He would show his love over the years in the best ways that he could. And then he got really sick in 2022. I decided to go see him at the top of 2023. And I went to Guadeloupe, my first time there, and it was absolutely beautiful, gorgeous country. Got to visit him in the hospital. He had just woken up out of a coma, y'all. Like, he was in that coma for 2 months. And he woke up a week before I got there, which was insane. That was crazy. I was hoping to like see him at least one more time, but you know, we always feel like we have more time, right? So I've been feeling very weird about his passing. It's like, oh, I have one less of a parent. Like, that's kind of weird. And just thinking about times that I would have liked to have spent with him, questions that have gone unanswered. Yeah, things like that. But the thing is, my father's side of the family is very large. He had 8 brothers and sisters, and I'm in touch with quite a few of my cousins on that side. And shout outs to Carolina, who was the one that told me about my father's passing. I met her in Guadeloupe, and just talking with them, we had some really healing conversations over the past few weeks. So yeah, guess I'm in the midst of a grief season right now. So that's been that. But the thing is, I don't really have the luxury to just drop everything, you know? Like, I kind of feel like I have to keep going. This is Q4. This is like my busiest time of the year work-wise. Y'all know I create content full-time. And honestly, work is a nice distraction. Not saying that I'm not allowing myself to grieve. I still am processing. I am moving slower, for sure, and I've definitely been in the house way more compared to like summertime. So that's just how I'm dealing with it right now. Yeah, I think I was more so worried about my mom more than anything, because even though they've been separated for like my whole life, you know, someone that you used to care about, someone that you used to love, when they pass away, you never know what feelings will come up. But luckily my mom she's been good. I feel really grateful to have my friends during this time. Like, one of my friends got me beautiful flowers. Another friend wrote me a letter. They've been constantly checking on me around the clock. So I feel very supported. I feel very protected during this time. I'm just grateful. So yeah, that's the biggest update. And again, Guadeloupe, stunning country. I really like that it's very untouched when it comes to the tourist population. Like, they do have a tourist area in certain parts, but I feel like it's still very much in its essence Guadeloupe. And that's not even their original name. I think that's their colonized name. Their original name is Cacuquera or something like that. I need to look it up. I'm gonna put it on the screen. I low-key have been gatekeeping my trips to Guadeloupe because it was very special, very important, pivotal trip for me. And I don't really know if I want everyone to like go there. Sometimes I think, what if there's something that goes viral and then people start wanting to go? Like, sure, enjoy Guadeloupe, but I kind of like that it's this untouched magical place in the Caribbean. But moving on from the sadder things, I want to get into some more highlights that have been happening throughout my year. One being, I got back to journaling. So there's an account called Ordinary and Happy. They've put out these prompts on a regular basis for different things, various things, and they have journaling prompts. So I decided to do a journal challenge for myself in the month of October. I would say I did like a good 3 weeks out of the 4 weeks of the journaling prompts. Plus I was journaling in my actual journal, like writing journal entries too. I did the prompts through my notes app on my phone. And I'm so proud of myself for completing that challenge because I said I really want to get back into the habit of journaling. And y'all know it takes like 21 days to form a habit. And I feel like now I'm back into it. Journaling for me has always been a part of my life when I was younger. It was a way for me to just really get certain thoughts out and express myself. And then I kind of like stopped. I just stopped one day. But now as an adult, I'm getting back into it. I'll make sure I link in the description box, the Ordinary and Happy Instagram page, their website, so that you too can also look into journaling if you're into it. And let me know in the comments, if you do journal, do you do it like written form? Do you like to do it on like a computer, an iPad? Let me know. I'm curious. All right, so let's get into some more highlights from this year. And I got everything on a notes app in my phone. Okay, so first off, I did swimming lessons this year and that was awesome. I am not a strong swimmer. I know how to do things, but when it comes to being in deep water, I panic. Deep water freaks me out still. Even though I know how to do things. I know how to move my arms and my legs and I know how to float, all that stuff. So I took the lessons. Shout outs to my coach Noah and shout outs to DC Parks and Rec. They have an awesome system where you can literally pay super cheap prices for swim lessons. My swim lessons were like $21 for 9 weeks, one lesson a week. I would go for an hour, and my coach specifically was available other days of the week if you want to come like 2 or 3 times in a week. It was great. Even one day my mom came to visit me. She came with me to go swimming, which was amazing. We had so much fun that day. So, Mommy, we are here at the pool. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. They have a class for the older people. So I told Gwladys, you know where I'll be retiring to.
Oh, Lord.
Gwladys and I did a little race to... I could not deal with this lesson.
And see my mom swim, she was doing her thing. I'm like, okay, lady. My mom is in her late 50s. She's borderline 60. And she was swimming out there like a little fish. It's kind of crazy because everyone in my family knows how to swim very well. I'm the only one that has this weird fear when it comes to deep water, but I want to continue to work on it. The thing is, with these swimming lessons, it's hard to get into them. They fill up so fast because they're so affordable. So we'll see what happens for winter session. Another highlight from this year is when I went glamping for the first time. Oh my God, I had a wonderful time traveling with Lesbi Friends Travel. They focus on curating travel experiences for Black queer women or women of color, and we had an amazing time. I've never been glamping before, and I haven't been camping since I was I don't know, a teenager, and I made lots of new great friends. It was awesome. I'll make sure I link their info too. Everything that I mentioned in this video, if it's something that's linkable or something that you can check out, you can find it in the description box. But yes, I thoroughly enjoyed my time in the woods, and I love having access to a cabin and a shower and beds, you know? Like, I don't need to be roughing it out there with the snakes and the bears. Although there were some people who could stay in a yurt. You can do that. Some people did that. Great. And the yurt is just like a tent, you know, that's pitched already, and you just bring your food and you can barbecue and grill and all that stuff. That's cool. But for me, I need me a cabin. I need access to a shower, and then we can do all the outdoor things. They already announced their next trip. Yeah, I think I want to do it for sure. I also had a great time going to Hedonism II, which a lot of y'all know is my favorite clothing optional resort in Negril, Jamaica. We had a wonderful time this past May, just exploring, living, loving, laughing. I mean, y'all already know, I love this resort so much. This was my 7th trip, about to be on my 8th trip, and I'm not letting up. It's super unfortunate what's been going on with Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica, so I'm definitely making sure I include resources for donations in my description box. And just make sure when you're trying to support any disaster relief in Jamaica, make sure the website has like .jm at the end, so you know it's like official and not a scam of any sort. But yeah, I have friends that are from Jamaica, live in Jamaica. My godmother is Jamaican. I've been trying to do my part is just sharing resources and making sure people are aware of what's going on there, because eventually the news moves on. You know what I mean? Things happen. People go back to their regular lives here in the States, but that doesn't mean things move on for them. Jamaica's gonna need help for a long time now. I'm supposed to be there in December, and I don't know. I don't even know what it's gonna look like then. There are people I know that their homes have been destroyed. A lot of people have been impacted, and I just really want to do my part as far as spreading the word and making sure people have access to things that they need. And y'all already know we're going through that right now in the States with SNAP benefits being cut and the government shut down, people not getting paid. These are trying times. These are trying times. I know so many people that have been impacted, and I just hope that we can, I don't know, I hope it ends soon. Like, do y'all think it's gonna end soon? Will it end by the time this video comes out? I don't know, because this is about to be the longest shutdown we've ever had. This is crazy. This is crazy. But I've been seeing a lot of people rally together, sharing resources, and I think that is amazing. One of my favorite quotes is by Bell Hooks, and she says, "Healing happens in community." And during these unprecedented times, we need community now more than ever. More than ever. I've been leaning on my community in my personal life, and I encourage y'all to do the same, especially if you're being affected by all these external factors. So another travel that I had this summer is when I went to Seattle. I visited one of my dear loves in Seattle, and we had an amazing time. She put on a conference out there, a queer conference, and it was awesome. We also went to a gala hosted by the Seattle Urban League, so that was amazing. I just had a time there. That was actually my first time in Seattle or Washington State in general, and I feel like I went at the perfect time because the weather was like spring weather. It was beautiful. I know they talk about Seattle being like really dreary sometimes. I think that's more so the winter, and I will be back next year, so I'll get to experience that and see how it is. But overall, I just got to have a break. Like, I didn't open my laptop that whole trip. I really got to take some time off. And as someone who is an entrepreneur, it is so easy to work 24/7. It's so easy. And I need to actively tell myself to like pause and stop and slow down. Look, this is how, I mean, because of my lack of doing that, I've burnt out before. I talked about it in a video a few years back when I burnt out and took my first break from YouTube. That was, no. Hustling every day of your life, sometimes we have to do it, but it is not something I see as like a badge of honor anymore. It's not like a major flex. If you can rest, rest. And I say this as someone who sometimes does not know how to rest, who has been a workaholic before. Please, for your health, for your sanity, for your mental health. Another highlight from this year is when I celebrated Pride in DC with my friends. I'm so lucky because I live in a city that provides so many opportunities to just celebrate queerness, especially as a Black queer woman. So this year was fun. And honestly, a lot of my years since my 20s have been a great time being queer. I consider myself very lucky because it is a privilege to be able to be out and express my identity in the way that I do. It's not something I take for granted. It's also a privilege to have family and friends that support my identity, where I'm not judged, where I can bring my partner who is a woman or non-binary. I can bring them home without worrying about, you know, family mistreating them. So I'm very lucky in that regard. But I know not everyone has that same privilege. And if you're watching this and you wish that you could be more out, I'm really hugging you, because I know it's not easy. I've seen a lot of friends go through that, and I just hope that with time, you know, with time, it'll get easier. Or that you make a choice to just be who you are regardless of what's going on. Because that's what it is. It's at a certain point, you make a choice. And not everyone can make that choice, because sometimes it's like a matter of life or death. Like in certain places, like the US is very liberal, but I couldn't be like this in other parts of the world. I'm very aware of that. So I'm just glad that I was able to have a good time with my friends, expressing our queer joy together. That's something that I don't take lightly. Another highlight is when my mama comes to visit me. Y'all already know Mama Karen. We have a good old time when she comes to DC. She came through twice this year. One highlight for me is the fact that she read her poetry, y'all. She read her poetry. She did such a good job. Like, so proud of her. I'm gonna show you a little snippet.
I'm visiting my daughter here in DC, which I do 4 or 5 times a year. So I have a poem that I actually wrote in high school when I was 16. And that's what I used to do, write poems. It was an emotional release for me. So this poem is entitled, Birds of One Feather. You spread your wings and fly away. You're a bird of all colors, but you cannot see that your brothers and sisters are bellowing. You're on that mountaintop, yes, the rocks are all falling and you're pushing down. You can see them all. Oh, how well you do, but you avoid them all because you're surviving. Birds must flock together. I've always thought it should be that way. How can we fight the bad weather when all you believe in is your own name? So come back down. Look at all the colors. Aren't we all the same? Thank you.
I'm pretty sure the fact that I'm a writer, I'm sure I get it from my mom. But yes, we had a wonderful time together, as we always do. Mommy, if you're watching, I love you. And I cherish you. And I thank you for being you, because it allows me to be who I am wholeheartedly. My mom is my biggest fan and avid supporter of me and all that I do. Even when she doesn't agree with something, like sometimes when I post my content about hedonism, you know, my mom will express her concerns, because you know I be naked over there. Like it's clothing optional, and I'm a naturist. I'm very comfortable in the nude. But some things we agree to disagree on, and other things she just understands. Like, she knows her daughter. And she also knows me. Like, I'm not going to put myself in any compromising situations. And if I need help, I'll ask for help. Okay, so another major highlight from this year. Y'all, getting my hair done with these braids. These braids have changed my life. I have never felt so... I just felt amazing in these braids for the past 3 months. That's why I've been having a hard time letting them go. Do you see them? Like, they're gorgeous. They're beautiful. They're everything. And shout outs to Camille. She's another creator and a business owner, and she rocked this style initially last year. And I was like, oh, I'm getting that style next summer. And sure enough, I got it. What's crazy is I posted on Threads. I love Threads, by the way. I'm always on there. And that is how I found a braiding stylist. Like, I asked, like, hey, do y'all know any braid recs in the DC area? And I found a braiding stylist 10 minutes from my house. Took a little car over there, and she hooked it up for me. This 3-layered style is just everything, but it's like an illusion. So, like, you'll see on these braids here, it's 2 different tiers on one, and then the rest here at the bottom. Y'all see that? Some of the beads have come out, y'all. It has been a few months, but I just love this so much, so much. I'm gonna run it back again. I'm probably gonna run it back next summer. I'm gonna miss these braids. I'm gonna start taking them out hopefully tonight. Like I told myself, I have to film this video and I want to film it while I still have the braids in. And then I can feel free to just cut them loose until, I guess until next year. This hair has been an absolute delight. Plus, I'm gonna miss like the sound of the beads. Like I'm really gonna miss that. And the final highlight I want to discuss is when I went to Costa Rica with one of my very dear friends and her bestie, and we had such a wonderful time. You could drop me off anywhere in the Caribbean and I'm bound to have a ball, and that's exactly what we did. But it was more of a restful, relaxing trip. We did do a few excursions, but most of all, when we set intentions at the beginning of the trip, we were like, you know what? We want this to be a certain type of vibe, and we did just that. This time we were on, I think, the west side of the island. So I know next time, because we were like, let's do it again, we're gonna go to the black side, Puerto Limon, and see what that's hitting for. So Costa Rica, I recommend. I had a 10 out of 10 experience, especially at the resort we were at, Ilang. That resort was chosen because of the food. Like they catered to vegan everything, and we had some awesome vegan dishes while there. Plus the grounds were beautiful, like so lush and just full of vegetation. Loved it. Quick reminder, if you don't have your passport or if it's expired, please renew it for the sake of travel, because I want you to travel and experience things outside of where you're from, but also because of the state of our country, and you just never know when things could pop off. So you might want to have that in deck because you just want to be prepared in case of anything. I just had to put that in there because it just popped in my head. Yes, get your passport. Get your passport. Get your passport. Renew your passport. I'm going to have to renew mine by next year. If your passport is within 6 months of expiration too, you can't use it to fly. So if you do have your passport and it's about to expire, you got to do that like right now. Just a reminder. Overall, I had some great moments from this year, even in the midst of like some up and downs that I've had. I also want to just quickly speak on how I've been since the big breakup I went through like a few years ago. And those who have been watching me for a while, you already know who that person was. I'm so much, when I say so much better, I look back on that video that I put out, that life update video. This girl right here, she was so broken. She was so heartbroken. She was so torn. She felt very just lost. And I feel like although it wasn't quite how I wanted things to go at that time, it worked out, and it was supposed to go that way for whatever reason. And I feel like I'm finally at the other side of it. It took like a good 2 years, y'all. Grieving a breakup, especially like when you're with someone for a long time, it takes a long time. And I made a few intentional decisions around that to help further my process. And I'm very happy about that. I actually ran into the person I previously dated earlier this year. We've been in space a few times since the breakup. It was fine. Sometimes a little awkward, but you know, we still have mutuals and stuff. So, and they are still in touch with my family and a friend of mine. So it's cool. I'm just glad that I am in a much better space. And I just really look forward to what moving on continues to look like for me. And speaking of moving on and moving forward, I want to talk about this channel. Forever Gwladys, formerly Is That Your Hair? I really need to lock in, y'all. Like, I feel like I've taken enough breaks. I've taken enough time from the long form. I think it is time for me to really reprioritize YouTube and stick to it. I've done a lot of short form in the past 2 years, and that's been great, but nothing's like YouTube. I have goals on here still. I would love to reach 100,000 subscribers. I would love to have like the support that y'all give me now. Even when I take my breaks, it means everything. And I just want to continue to multiply that and maximize my impact. Because y'all already know, like, the goal of my channel is to help people that look like me feel like they can try new things, feel like they can conquer new avenues in their life, feel like they can make big, tough, scary decisions. I just want people to work through the fear. You know, just do the thing anyway. That's what I'm doing. And hopefully when you see me traveling and trying these different wigs and doing different things, especially when I start vlogging again. Hopefully you feel encouraged and feel the same way. And that's what I want. So it's not feasible for me to say like, oh, I'm gonna post like 2-3 times a week like I used to back in the day. I can't commit to that, but I can commit to once a week. I can do that. I can definitely do that. And maybe y'all can just hold me accountable. I know some of y'all still see me in YouTube shorts, and I also post in my community tab multiple times a week. Plus, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm always on there. And if you follow me on TikTok, I'm always on there. I'm on Facebook. I have a newsletter. Please subscribe to my newsletter. Please become an email bestie, because I do a Monday message newsletter weekly where I just share things I'm thinking about, encouraging words. And I also do like a monthly roundup of everything that's going on with my social media. So I have my footprint everywhere, but I want YouTube to really, I want the long form content on YouTube to become a priority again. And I think that will help propel me to my goal of, you know, obtaining a community that is larger and thus tripling my impact. That's what I would like for 2026. Does that mean I'm gonna reach 100K by the end of 2026? I'm gonna be honest, that's hard. That's a hard goal. I know anything can happen. It's just hard to believe right now. I was polling people on Instagram and they're just like, girl, you got this, lock in. But girl, YouTube is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I don't know how I was putting out that many videos back then. When I was teaching, y'all remember, I was teaching from like 7 to 4. And then I was doing YouTube from like 5 until. And somehow I was still trying to be a girlfriend and a daughter and a friend. And like, what? Listen, I just don't have that anymore. My energy is different now. My capacity is different. And it's taken me a long time to grieve like my former self. The part of me that felt more successful doing all that hustling, I've been grieving that. But I think I'm at the point now where it's like I've accepted who I am now, and I'm just ready to move as that person and redefine what success looks like for me. I think I have to a certain extent, but yeah, we'll see. Either way, we gonna get there. I remember when I first reached 1,000 subscribers on here, I had like a 1K by May campaign. I had a hashtag and we were all into it. But I'm scared to do something like that for 100K because I still don't fully believe it can happen in like what I see as such a short amount of time, like a year to grow like another 50K just seems short to me. I don't know. I'm in my head. I'm in my head. Let me just stop. Let me stop with the negative talk, because the reality is I can do whatever I put my mind to. That is where I'm gonna leave off in this video. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for joining me. And just, you know, sound off how you feel in the comments. And talk to me about what's going on with you as well. If anything that I said resonated with you, I would love to hear about it so we can chit chat. If you are watching this as a premiere party, thanks for being here. Make sure you check me out on other social medias. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook. Like, I'm everywhere, but I'm heavy on Instagram. So if you want to say hi there, DM me. At this point of the game, I do respond to damn near all my comments and a lot of my DMs. It is just me though, so if I take a while to respond, it's because it's just me. That's something else I need to think about for the future, just delegating more. I'm still at the point where I'm not ready to get an editor. Like, I know it's so helpful for YouTube, especially for long form content, but I gotta think about that some more. Sometimes I feel like my systems are not like airtight, and when I think about hiring an assistant or help, it's like, if I don't feel like I got my shit together, how am I gonna tell them, you know? But I'm gonna figure all that out. Either way, this is where I'm at right now. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for supporting me and for loving on me and for just always spreading positivity on this channel. Forever Gwladys, the Forever family, remains near and dear to my heart. And I can't wait to see y'all in the next video.